Stampers, welcome back to my studio. This is Deb Valder. I always love having you stop by for some craftiness, and today we're going to do a craft project. It's a little hexagon box, and inside it you can hold any kind of little treats. So for this one, I actually put a little tiny gift in here, and we'll be giving that away shortly. And the other one is holding 7 little Hershey Kisses. You could put hugs and kisses in there, but it's just adorable. And it takes so very little paper. You can do the box and the flower for just 1 sheet of cardstock, and the flower or the designer paper, it only takes a 6x6, not even a 6x6. I think I got 2 out of a 6x6 sheet of paper. I'll have all of the measurements for the side pieces on my blog, so hop on over there and I'll give you all the measurements for those. This was cut out with one of our little dies, but let me just show you what's involved in all of them. This one right here, I actually used the Prills for the inside. These work absolutely gorgeous. You can go over to our shop and you can see all of the colors. I think we have 42 colors of these. For the little dewdrops, I used little dewdrops. So these are my little jewel drops because they're transparent. You can see through them. So it looks like it's a little tiny raindrop. I love it. And I used this die for the flowers, and I used it for both flowers, but I wanted to show you how you could make it look like this, or you can make it look like this with just a little quill pen. This one right here is the die that I used. It coordinates with our hexagon die, and I used the number 4 right here. So that was the one that I used for the top piece. I did cut out these little side pieces right here, but it's so fast and so easy. And then this is the actual hexagon box. And like I said, these can be made in less than, I'd say, 5 to 10 minutes. That's how fast they are. Once you have everything cut out, you're going to see me from beginning to end put this little box together. And like I said, this is just a half a sheet of cardstock. I also used our, in the shop, we have some really great 6x6 papers. And for this one, I used this 6x6 paper pack. They're absolutely gorgeous. Let me just show you some of them. So on each side, they have different patterns, and if you're going to use this side, no problem, you can take and use and cut everything where you want to, no problem. But when you have a pattern like this, just make sure that they go in the right direction. And what I mean by that is when you're cutting it out, make sure that the pattern goes the way you want it to face when you're opening it up. So this one I wanted to go up and down. So just make sure when you're cutting it out from the die that it's going in the right direction, and then also make sure that this is in the right direction, okay? And then make sure when you're putting on your side pieces like this that when you cut, it all goes in the same direction. For something like this one, it doesn't matter because it's just an all over general pattern, but for something that has an up and down to it or a sideways to it, you want to make sure that you get it going in the right directions. It's super simple, but just wanted to point that out to you. These pattern papers are so pretty. Now, all of the papers that we have in our shop are from different companies, and we love all of them. This one happens to be from Whimsy, and what I like about it is it doesn't have the gummy on the top, so when you get it, it literally looks like this. But some of these patterns, all of these patterns, I should say, are absolutely gorgeous, and you get 2 of each one. So let me just show you how you put all of this together. I'm even using the front cover right here. So when you cut this apart, you can actually take and use one of your dies to cut something out of here. There is no waste for me. Okay, so without any further ado, let's get going. I'm going to show you how to make these. All right, so let's put those aside. I want to make sure that they're in the picture for you, but let's just show you how fast this goes. All right, all of the products are listed below, but if you go up to the little eye on the top, that'll get you right into our shop. If you click on that, you can just peruse the pages and pages of good, yummy stuff that we have. So make sure you check that out. So I cut out one of the flower sets, and you can do that all in one fell swoop because I never cut these apart. All right, so I did that. And then I brought it over to, I'm not going to throw these away because I'm going to add them. Those are the purple, and because I don't cut them apart, they're all attached to that. So I did end up cutting out 2 green ones for the leaves, and that's these little guys right here. Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then here's the hexagon that I told you about. And what I did was I centered my little flower. So you can take your pattern paper and center it anywhere you want. For these little guys, it's not going to make that much of a difference because we're going to put the flower on the top, but it looks pretty even without the flower. All right, and then literally these are the ones that I cut. All right, the little tiny pieces that I cut. It takes you literally seconds to cut those out. And then this is the piece that I used to, this is the die that I cut out. This is the hexagon die. It's so cute. So it's a HEXAGON Treat Box. All right, so now let's take and start folding. I'm going to use my crease tool right here. And you really want to make sure that you have very good creases. Now I do this very methodically. I just start at one end, all right? And then I go, let's do the centers first. Okay. And then I go all the way around. Everything creased. We have all of our little tabs. We have all of the little creases all around the outside of it. We're ready to go. Now the next thing that I'm going to use in our shop, we have the little 1/8 inch tape, and this is so very important to use when you're using. You want to use the heaviest kind of tape that you can. So to fit these little guys, the 1/4 inch is a little bit too big. So I'm using the 1/8 inch tape right here, and I'm just putting it on all of the little tabs right here. All right. And what's nice about it is we call it tear tape because you can just tear it right off. You don't need to sit there with your scissors and cut it. It's really good. All right, so I'm just adding this. You see how fast this goes together? I made so many of these. And with this little virus going around, I've actually put some on people's doorsteps. Let them know that there's there. It's kind of like the boo, you know, the thing where you, what do they call it? You know, where you, a boo box, you know, where you just leave it on their corner or on their front porch at Halloween and then ring their doorbell and run. There we go. All right, so I think I have it all on there. Let's just make sure we've got it on there. Again, just going around in a circle to make sure you did every single one of them. These little guys are smaller because this is the lid. All right, good. Now take your little pick. All right, these are all things that you should definitely already have in your craft box. Let me just show you another little trick that I do. So all of these little things that you're taking off kind of get in the way. So I'm just taking some cheap masking tape and laying it down on my surface right here. I also do that with those little tiny, let me show you, these little guys right here. You know, they've got that little tiny plastic piece on it and they kind of get stuck to you. So I just take and put them on my masking tape and then throw that away and we call it a day. All right, so I'm just gonna lift these little guys up. We do, take this up, fold it in half, and throw it away. All right, no mess, love it. All right, so now what we're gonna do is actually put this little guy together. So you just start at one end, and it's so nice because these line up so perfectly. That's how fast this box goes together. Now what I'd like to do is I like to go through with my little crease tool here and just re-burnish each one of the little tabs here. Yeah, and the little ones here too, just to make sure that they're stuck really good. And what's nice is this little piece right here is reinforced, so it's going to hold it even better. All right, so then what you do is just kind of put the flaps out there in the back, and look at how cute that little box is. You don't even need to decorate it, but if you want to, you can. So if I was to put this on here without any of the flowers on the top, do you see how pretty that is? You don't even need a flower, but we're going to decorate it a little bit more. So now what I do is I take and use my liquid glue to put all of these pieces on. So let's put the top on first. Right, you don't see, I have a stitch in here, so I don't want to get them too close to the edge. There we go. I love that glue. Alrighty, so now we're just going to take and put that. The reason I was kind of making it go around and looking and that kind of thing is because if I didn't put a flower on here, I was just trying to see which one would look the prettiest right side up. Remember when I told you about a design or whatever? But you see, like, these are kind of going up this way. So when I was cutting it out, I wanted to be very mindful of that, all right? But for this one, I am going to put a flower on it, so it doesn't matter. But I just wanted to kind of point that out to you. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the large pieces and glue those on. And there should be, there we are, there should be 6 of those. Now see, when I cut this one, it didn't matter what way the pattern went, because we're going to use this side right here with the flowers. All right, so it did matter with the other one, and that's the back side of this one. That paper pack has such pretty papers in there. Now the reason I like using the liquid glue on this instead of the adhesive, you could also use the repositionable tape runner, because we have quite a few different styles of tape runner that go in our little case. But the reason I like this is because it's very forgiving. I can take and I can kind of turn it around, and I'll show you in just a minute. Okay, in between I do put the top on my glue. I'm going to start on the back one right here. So I'm just going to take this and add it to the back, and watch what I do when I'm adding these. All right, so here's this little guy right here. All right, and then I'm going to go to the next one, but when I do, I want to show you there is an upside down and a right side up. All right, so for the box there's an upside down and a right side up. All right, so now I'm just going to take this and I'm going to lay it down. But the reason I like to put the box together before I add these and not while it's still flat is because what I like to do is I like to just kind of make sure that they're all even as I'm going along. You see, so I'm kind of matching these two up. And then in between, I'll take and just use my little burnisher. Okay, and I do it on the opposite side. There we go. Okay, so there's that one. Add the next one. What's nice about this glue too is that it doesn't dry instantly, so that's why it's very forgiving. I can kind of turn it, you know, kind of move it around a little bit. It's liquid glue. All right, you can also do this with the repositionable glue. Let me see, I want a prettier one for that, so I'm just going to wait just a second. Stick that on there real quick, not even, let's see which one. I like this one. Okay, we're going to add this one right here. This is the front piece. So now what I want to do is just kind of line those two up, then line these two up, and one more to go for these little guys. And so when I was doing a whole bunch of these, I did all of the cutting first, then I put all of the boxes together, and then I did all of the and then what I did was I did all of the designer papers. All right, so now we've got the bottom of the box done. You can even leave it just like that, all right? But as we get going, it's gonna look prettier and prettier. So this is the right side, this is the wrong side, and I'm gonna add all my glue to it. Put your top back on here and start adding these. Now I'm going to start on the side. That is our box. Isn't that so pretty? It's pretty just all on its own, you know, and then you just open it up. There's your box. So cute. All right, now let's work on the flower. Let's burnish these little guys first, okay? There we go. There we go. Okay, let's close this, put it aside, and let's work on the flower. So if we were doing the flower just flat, I'll show you how to do that, but I also want to show you how I did the middle of this one. So when I talk about flat and middle, this is the flat one. This is the one that kind of has a little bit more to it. Both with the same die, just a little bit differently put together. All right, so first thing I need to do for this one, because it was light, is I'm going to take my ink And I'm just going to take and grab a scrap sheet of paper here. Let me just find one. Burnish the inside of it right here. And do a little on the outside. And I just used a coordinating ink. There we go. Just to give it a little bit more color. All right, so there's that. Now the other thing that I did before I put it together was I kind of made some glitz and glitter on the edges like I did with this one. See how they kind of just glitzy and glittery, and I didn't do it to this one, but I did do it to this one. So let me show you how I did it. I used some of our Sugar Rush. You know, I've been using these a lot. We have, I don't know how many different packs of them, but Sugar Rush is one of my favorite ones. So I'm just going to take the, this one is the Wild Lavender, and I'm just going to take and just kind of scruff the ends of it. I did that to the other ones that were already there. It doesn't have to be anything, you know, perfect or whatever, just to give it a little bit of glittery pizzazz to it. Here we go. All right, that's all you need to do. That's how fast that was. All right, so now what we're going to do is to start taking and molding them. So I'm going to take the bigger ones, and you're going to hold it right here at the end. Just kind of curl it like that. All right. If you want to take and curl up this one the opposite way, you can do that too. You can actually take and scrunch them a little bit. All right. It just gives the petals a little bit more of a I look real kind of thing, because every flower outside has glitter on it, right? Just kidding. All right, there we go. Let's go back to shaping it out again. There we go. So that's that one. Let's do that to this one. Again, I did all of my flowers at the same time so that I could get them all done. It just, in assembly lines like that, I think it works really good. I love it. All right, so for this one, I did something a little bit different. We want to break up the fibers just a little bit, okay? So I'm going to do the same thing to this one. Holding it on the petal, don't hold it here, or you're going to pick a petal like I love you not kind of thing with the daisies, but we're not making daisies. So then what I did was I took my quilling tool, all right? If you don't have a quilling tool, you can just take a skewer and put a little pop dot on the end of it to give it a little bit of sticky, and then you can roll them that way too. So you don't have to have a quilling tool, but it makes it a little bit easier. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to quill these by rolling them in. So I put it all the way to one side or the other, all right, and then we're just going to roll it. All right, there's one, and then we're going to roll this one. Get it all the way to the end, and then just roll. Alrighty, here we go. And last but not least, here we have this one. All right, there we go. Now what we're going to do is just kind of open them up a little bit and nest one inside the other. Like this. Okay. There. See how we got this little guy right in here like this? So pretty. Oops, that one's opened up too much. There we go. All righty. They'll kind of go back together when we start putting it all together. All right, so now we have this little guy right here. We're going to take this piece of paper so it doesn't glue to it. I've got my silicone mat underneath here, and what we're going to do is start gluing. So, oops, we got to do our leaves first. So let's do the same thing for the leaves, holding it on the leaf, not down here at the bottom. Let's just take and curl these little guys. I love the edging on this little folder also, a little crease tool. All right, and I'm going to add the two purple ones to go along with it because they're already cut out. I might as well use them. Super duper. All right, let's bring our box back in, and this is where the fun begins. We're going to take and we're going to put a big glob of glue right here. Again, using our liquid glue. All right, put the top back on for now, and we're going to add our leaves. So let's just kind of position them. First of all, you got to figure out where the front of your box is, because that's that's very important. Don't do what I just did. Ew. Okay, so now what we need to do is add this little guy and this little guy. Okay, all of this is going to be hidden, and we're going to have more glue on there, so don't worry. So now we're going to put another layer of glue. Even before it's dry, we're going to take and put another layer of glue on here. See, I told you this is paper crafting today. All right, and stick that right there. See if we like where our little... We're going to offset this one. Add a little bit more glue. Offset it so they're not one on top of the other. What I mean by that is this one is in between these two, but you guys know that. And then we're going to add this little guy right here. Alrighty. Now we're going to hold that just for a little bit, because this glue dries really fast and really good. I'm going to kind of start to bend these up to hold this one in the middle. All right. See, it's already starting to dry. It's awesome glue. I'm telling you, it's awesome glue. All right, let's just kind of separate those two. There we go. All right, we're going to sit here for just a second and let that dry. All right, do I like where the leaves are? Yep, I do. All right, that's just about it. We just got to let it sit and dry. We're going to add, let's see, I think we'll add just a little dollop of, which one? Let's add, I think this one is the steel blue. And just pull straight up. Take my little poker and just poke it down just a bit. Oh my gosh, isn't that so cute? Look it! I love it. And then what you can do is just take, if you're going to put tissue in here, you can just wad up your little tissue paper and stick that on the inside like that. If you want to add your candy like this one, you can do that. You know, and if you've got this adorable little present, you can add it inside here also. See? They fit absolutely gorgeous. All right, so do you know what that is? Do you know? Let me know if you know what that is. All right, so there's that. Here is this one. And last but not least, oh, don't forget our Prills. I think I told you about the Prills. They go in the middle of those kind of flowers. But look at, aren't they so pretty? Let's put this one in the middle, show you what it looks like. And there you go. Don't forget, if you liked my video, make sure you subscribe right down there, and then click on the little bell, and it'll tell you exactly when I have another video coming. And hit the bottom, the thumbs up button if you like it, and share it with your friends. You have a good day. I hope you enjoyed my post. Take care. Thank you.